Welcome back to school, everyone, and welcome to Seahawk Central News, your source for the latest news affecting the UNCW community. I'm Janae Randall.
And I'm Sarah Lively. We hope everyone had a fun and safe summer. Also, safe surfing to those internet users checking us out on YouTube. Seahawk Central News is now available 24/7 online. Check us out at youtube.com/TealTV2010.
In this episode, we will get the chance to see what a few fellow students were up to this summer, along with a first-hand look at Beach Blast.
We also have an exclusive interview with the new UNCW Chancellor, Dr. Miller. Also, make sure to catch up on sports with Ben Tyson and the latest movies with Chris Vickery.
Seahawk Central News starts right now. Last Saturday was a big day for thousands of new students on campus. As part of the UNC Welcome event, more than 1,700 volunteers helped students move their belongings into their new homes. The move-in event has been a tradition at UNCW for more than 10 years. Over 1,900 freshmen moved in during the event, contributing to more than 4,200 students living on campus. Later in the evening, the UNCW Welcome program also hosted a hypnosis show starring Brian Imbus in Trask Coliseum. Trask was filled with new and current students alike as they watched their friends perform on stage. Imbus was so skilled that several students sitting in the audience fell under his spell and eventually made their way to the stage at Imbus's command. Unfortunately, media was not allowed to film any events taking place on stage, but we did get an interview with one of the students who was hypnotized from his seat, Philip Varvirez.
Well, I was out in the audience and I was like, well, I'll try it. I'll do the same things that he was telling them to do and on stage, and I was like, worth a shot. I've never done this before. I've heard it's really cool. So yeah, I just did all the things that he said, and all of a sudden I was just out of control. I was just out of control and not really, I don't know, I felt like I was somewhat in control, but it was really, I don't know, I'm still in a daze.
The beginning of the year hypnotist show has taken place at UNCW for some time now and will hopefully be back again next year.
New and returning students had a chance to share a UNCW tradition before classes began. This past Tuesday, Beach Blast was held as part of UNC Welcome events. Our very own Caroline Walkup hit the beach to get us the story. Caroline?
This year's Beach Blast has thousands of Seahawk students flocking to Crystal Pier to wrap up their summer vacations and celebrate the beginning of a new school year.
Wrightsville Beach was covered with UNCW students Tuesday. Students gathered for an active day at the beach. Whether they arrived by car, bike, or bus, the students were ready to have a blast. The shuttle lines were long, but students remained enthusiastic.
Go Seahawks! Go Seahawks! Woo! Woo!
Plenty of new students were enjoying freebies and meeting new friends.
Yeah, we met a lot of people today. I mean, it's been really fun. It's good to get out and meet people.
The all-day event helps students feel excited about the new year and getting involved.
Looks like UNCW has hosted yet another successful Beach Blast here today with a huge turnout and lots of fun. I'm Caroline Walkup with Seahawk Central News, TealTV. I'll see you in class.
With the start of the new school year, UNCW welcomes new and returning students back to campus with a series of traditional events courtesy of UNC Welcome. For over 10 years, UNC Welcome events have helped ease students into campus life. The approximate 1,990 freshmen joining the Seahawk family this fall will be no exception. On Wednesday, student ambassadors were available all day throughout Chancellor's Walk to answer students' questions, pass out campus maps, and hand out fresh lemonade. Later in the evening, students had the opportunity to enjoy music and a fireworks display at the Gazebo Recreation Center.
Let's go outside and chat with fellow students on Chancellor's Walk. Here is Rachel Nagel with Talk on the Walk.
Hello Seahawks, and welcome back for the 2011-2012 school year. I'm out on Chancellor's Walk asking our fellow students what they did this summer and whether or not they're happy to be back at school.
This summer was crazy for me. Went to a whole lot of music festivals. I lost my mind at these music festivals, but it feels good to be back here at school. Gotta get my mind right, you know?
I was here all summer working at Chuck E. Cheese, and I'm glad to be a senior and almost graduating.
This summer, all I did was go to summer school. I was in school in UNCC, and that's basically all I did. And right now, I'm back at the beach, and I just get to be here and chill.
To be honest, I didn't really do much this summer. I kind of hung out with my boyfriend, hung out with my friends, went to the beach a little. Just kind of relaxed and enjoyed my last summer at home.
It's really fun here, and then there are a lot of hot girls here, and I enjoy meeting all of them.
And this summer, I worked for Environment North Carolina, and I'm really excited to be back at school.
Well, we certainly heard a lot of interesting answers, and it seems as though everybody's happy to be back on campus, or at least closer to the beach. Here's wishing everybody good luck for this following school year. I'm Rachel Nagel for Seahawk Central News, TealTV.
Thanks, Rachel. Wilmington is currently preparing for what may be a Category 3 storm hitting. According to the National Weather Service, the storm is scheduled to impact our area on Friday evening and Saturday morning. Students are advised to listen to school officials for instructions in any hurricane situation. The school's hurricane policy states that students will be allowed 6 to 8 hours of safe driving before arrival of 40-mile-per-hour winds. Also, regular updates on closing and reopening the campus are available by calling the UNCW Emergency Hotline at 1-888-657-5751 or on the UNCW homepage, www.uncw.edu.
Now it is time for the exclusive interview with the newly elected Chancellor, Dr. Miller. Here's Caroline Keith.
We're here with our new Chancellor, Chancellor Miller, and first off, we'd like to welcome you to the set of Seahawk Central News.
Well, thank you. I'm really glad to be here.
First off, we'd like to hear about a little bit about your past. I mean, where did you go to college? What were you involved with before UNCW?
Well, I grew up in Western Virginia. I won't go that far back, but I grew up in Western Virginia. So I went to a Virginia Public University. I went to William and Mary, and stayed there for my bachelor's in biology and master's degree, and then went off for a PhD at Mississippi State University, where I studied ecology and biostatistics mainly, and then started an academic career, first at Weber State University in Utah for a couple years, and then 14 years at University of Mississippi, where I was mainly a faculty member for the first half of that time, and then I became department chair and got more and more interested in academic or in administrative problems and solving problems with people, working more with people on broader university issues. So there came a time when somebody asked me if I wanted to be a dean, and so we thought we'd try that, and I spent 4 years at the University of the Pacific in Stockton, California, and then decided we would take the next step and became provost at Wichita State University. I was there 5 years in Kansas, and now I'm here.
What is it about UNCW and the city of Wilmington that, I mean, really inspired you to come here? I mean, why Wilmington?
The thing I really liked about the university was this commitment to faculty and student interaction. I think that's very, very important today, and it suggests a few things. It suggested a few things to me. One is there's a great faculty here, and that's been something that's been demonstrated to me since I've been here and started to meet people. But it also suggested there are great students here who are really curious, who wanted to discover, and maybe not just satisfied to sit in the classroom, but really wanted to reach out and ask some questions. So the university seemed like a place that was leading and a leading institution in American higher education. But then there's Wilmington, and I like the beach. Although I grew up in the mountains, I've always loved the water. Then we found it to be just extraordinarily warm, wonderful restaurants, beautiful beaches, and just a lot of things to do when we have time, when we're not on campus.
What type of relationship are you looking with the student body? I mean, what type of image do you want to maintain?
Well, I want to be accessible to students. When I talked to the search committee and President Ross and others about relationships with students when we were interviewing, I made 2 points really that I think are important. Both of us, students have a lot to offer to me, and I have something to offer to them. And I think what I would like is to get to know students in their environment, which is in the classroom and where they live and in their activities. And we've started to do that with move-in day this week and some others. But I also want students to get to know me in my environment, because I have some experience that students don't yet have. And when we can find opportunities for students to be with us in the activities that we do around the Chancellor's office and in the university and in the decision-making process, then we're going to try to make those available too, so that we can both learn from each other. I want to be transparent in general and accessible to students and learn from students and provide them an opportunity to learn from me.
All right. Well, on behalf of student media, we'd like to thank you so much for coming in.
You're so kind. I thank you so much.
Thanks, Caroline. Once again, let's head over to the sports desk. Here's Ben Tyson. Ben?
Hello there, folks. Welcome back into the freshman. Welcome to the Seahawk Central Sports Desk for the first time in the 2011-12 school year. Let's start things off with the men's basketball team, who got into the swing of things early this year with a 5-day trip to the Bahamas from August the 16th through the 20th. Seahawks assistant coach Jamie Kaczmarek kept up with the team's adventures in an online log that you can check out on uncwsports.com. According to Kaczmarek, quote, "Our guys enjoyed an experience that will last a lifetime," end quote. However, the Bahamas All-Stars won game 1 94-87 in a close, high-scoring affair. In game 2, the Seahawks struck back, beating a team called the Cybots, which I can only assume is a team of cyber robots, 96-68, which was a victory for all of humankind. Joking aside, Adam Smith led the way for the Seahawks with 20 points, and we are all excited to see what he can do this season. The Florida Marlins promoted former UNCW star pitcher Chris Hatcher to the major leagues this summer. The 26-year-old Kinston, North Carolina prospect appeared in 8 professional games, but has struggled this year, allowing 4 earned runs and striking out 3 batters in 3 innings. He has seen more success in the minor league level, though, where he has an earned run average of 2.31 and has struck out 39 batters in 35 innings of relief appearance for AA Jacksonville. He was also selected to the Southern League All-Star game this year after switching positions from catcher to pitcher back in February. The UNCW men's soccer team is looking to make the most of their 2011 season. Senior Daniel Roberts has been named preseason All-Conference by the Colonial Athletic Association coaches, and senior goalkeeper Brandon Miller received an honorable mention in that category. Roberts missed all but 3 games last year due to a leg injury, but he looks ready to go after an impressive friendly match against North Florida to start the year.
Goalkeeper Brandon Miller and his fellow Seahawks prepared for the exhibition match against the North Florida Ospreys. We start things off in the second period with senior Daniel Roberts kicks the shot from 60 yards out into the back of the net. That's good. You will not see that goal many times in your life. Moving on, later in the period, freshman Jamie Dell with the nice slide move here. He shoots the pass over to his fellow freshman David Sizemore, who puts it in the back of the net with the header. That's his first goal of his career and the first assist by Dell. Moving on to Jacob Van Compernol on the set piece. The free kick puts it past all the defenders. Final score, UNCW 3, North Florida 0.
The keeper had been cheating a little bit, and I was lucky enough to find a bit of space, and like I was saying earlier, I think it's one of those shots that I'll probably hit once every 20-30 shots, but I was lucky enough that it went in today's game.
Brandon Miller tweaked a hamstring during the second period and was pulled for reserve keeper TJ Charville, who is a 6-foot, 150-pound freshman out of Raleigh. The two combined for the shutout. Sources inside the UNCW athletic department say that Miller is rehabbing the injury and will be a game-time decision for this Saturday's regular season opener versus North Carolina on August the 27th. Coach Aiden Haney spoke to us about that exciting matchup.
You know, I mean, they've got talent all over the field. I mean, individually, very, very good. They're well coached, you know, but it's early in the year. You know, we're all trying to figure our teams out, and you know, we're going to go up there, and certainly we're going to go up there try and win the game, and you know, it won't be for lack of trying if we don't win the game, and our players will be excited and looking forward to it.
Moving on to the women's Seahawks soccer team, which has kicked off its season with a bang. Junior defender Lindsey Henry looks to be a leader after being named preseason All-CAA. Honorable mentions went out to fellow Seahawks juniors Amanda Holmes, Caitlin Hunter, and Stephanie Rose. The conference also named Henry to its postseason All-CAA team in 2010, and she and her teammates carried that momentum into the first game of the season. The Lady Seahawks beat the Francis Marion Patriots on Friday in the season opener 2-0. Amanda Holmes scored the first goal and had an assist to senior Laura Wilson on the putaway goal in the 78th minute. Keeper Caitlin Hunter recorded her 6th career shutout in the contest. The women's soccer team plays in Greenville at East Carolina University on Friday, August 26th. Well, that wraps it up for me here at the Sports Desk. I'm Ben Tyson. Sarah, back to you.
Thanks for the update, Ben. The Involvement Carnival will be held on Wednesday, August 31st from 10 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. More than 275 activities and booths will be set up for students to learn about various organizations, jobs, volunteer, and entertainment opportunities. If you are interested in learning more about TealTV, be sure to stop by our booth at the carnival.
Now's the time where we get the latest big screen updates in Critics on Campus. Here's your host, Chris Vickery.
Thanks, Janae. Welcome everyone to Critics on Campus, where we review the latest movies in the Wilmington area. I'm your host, Chris Vickery, alongside my co-host for the day, Ethan Edwards. The first movie we're going to review is Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which is the prequel to the Planet of the Apes and basically goes into detail about how, in fact, the apes do take over the world.
And while you don't really see in the end how they really take over the world, it leaves it pretty much ready for a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
And while you may be waiting for an action film here, this is actually more of a cerebral film.
Yeah. And it was definitely fell more on the drama side, which was interesting because the trailers really played up the action, which, spoiler alert, doesn't really come until the last parts of the movie.
But it is excellent.
No, the movie is wonderful, and it's really well done considering most of the movie, especially from the ape side, occurs without dialogue entirely.
Yeah.
Which is a very gutsy move for a movie to take, especially a blockbuster.
CGI is amazing on this. Apes look completely real.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Serkis does a wonderful job as the ape.
Mm-hmm. And it was really impressive the way that they paralleled the human world as opposed to the ape world.
And in many ways, it's very similar.
No, and it was a great film from a sci-fi perspective of really kind of portraying this speculative world that's parallel to our own but not the same. And I thought it was a great overall summer blockbuster that really had all the solid foundations of a great film.
Yeah, it has everything it needs to be a great summer film.
Yeah, if you had to give it a rating out of 5, what would you give it?
I would give it 3.5.
Fair enough. I would have to say the same because, as I said, it was a solid summer blockbuster. Could have been better, but definitely
worth watching.
It was a good movie. But the second movie that we went and saw this past week was The Help, which was all drama, but it blew my mind. I thought it was a spectacular film. And it's set in the 60s and has a lot to do with the racial tensions of Jackson, Mississippi. And I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah. Well, while the past film was about apes trying to become human, this is about humans trying to become human.
Mm-hmm.
And while it may be nothing you haven't seen before, everything is done spectacularly well.
Yeah, and the performances were so emotionally charged. It was quite incredible.
Yeah. Viola Davis as Aibileen, and also the wonderful Jessica Chastain as Celia Foote. Both completely steal the scenes in every single one they're in.
And Emma Stone, in a real kind of breakout performance for the stuff that we're used to seeing her in, did an excellent job. And it's one of those movies that's just so well crafted that in the end you laugh when they laugh and you cry when they cry, which is no small feat.
This is a movie you can take your mother to see, or your girlfriend, or pretty much anyone. So
yeah, and with the exception of some minor cursing, it's one that everybody in the family can definitely enjoy. Out of 5 stars, what would you give this one?
I would give it a 4.5. It was good. Definitely one of the best of the summer.
I would tend to agree with you. 4.5 for me as well. Well, that's all for this week. This segment was brought to you by Carmike Cinemas. Stay tuned next time for more reviews of the latest movies coming to the big screen. Once again, I'm your host, Chris Vickery, alongside Ethan Edwards. See you next time.
Well, that wraps it up for this edition of Seahawk Central News. Special thanks to the Communications Studies Department and UNCW TV for making our show a reality.
Even more thanks to Bill Denome and Dustin Miller. Check out the latest edition of the Seahawk at newsstands all over campus. Remember, you can keep up with Seahawk Central News by stopping by youtube.com/TealTV 2010. I'm Janae Randall.
And I'm Sarah Lively saying, so long, Seahawks.